Hello everyone, welcome back to Event Advice with CrowdComms. I'm back with Matt, and this week we're going to be talking about hints and tips to promote your event. So here we go, straight into it again. How do we best promote our event apps, Matt?
So I think there's two elements to this. There's promoting the event and there's promoting the technology. And I think the key component is that the technology is relevant to the event. So if we've got an event and we are looking to drive lots of meetings between delegates and exhibitors, we talked about that previously, you need to tell the delegate why they've got an event out. So one of the key bits is when you're doing your comms, when you're promoting the fact that you've got a piece of technology, tell them why they're going to use it. This year we've got an event app. You can download it here. On this event app, you will be able to do this, this, and this. Before the event, during the event, after the event. Tell them why it's relevant. What value does it bring to someone? So often you see people promote pieces of technology and they say, click here to download the app. Why? Give them a reason. Why do I do it before the event? Do I get a video before the event that tells me about it? Can I look at who's at the event to see who I want to network with? Do I need to make my session choices? Is there capacities on sessions and I want to get in there early and look at it? Tell them why you are driving that app. So that's specific to an event app and promoting the event app. The event itself is different. I think promoting events at the moment is more important than ever before. Why do we need to go to an event? Is it content? Is it networking? Why is there value to me as someone whose time precious to attend this event? Pre-COVID, we're always talking about pre-COVID levels. We're back up to 80% of pre-COVID levels. Now that's a really important determinant of success now and validation of events. So we want to make sure that we're 100% of pre-COVID levels. Really important that we drive the right comms about an event and why to attend for our audiences now.
So would you advise people to create pre-event content? So make sure you've loaded in videos from last year, or make something fresh and get the activity feed going beforehand, or what would you advise people to do to engage people before the actual event?
Ease of registration, first thing.
Yeah.
So when I land on a site, does it tell me what's going to happen at the event? How easy is it to register? How easy is it to register on behalf of others? Can I pay on behalf of others? How simple is the user experience? So the first thing is the tech. Is it easy to use? When I land on it, does it make sense? Let's not overcomplicate things, okay? So that's the first bit. The comms about the event. Can I customize the templates, the email comms that come out? Are they centralized so I can quickly see who's accessed the email, who's responded to it, who's RSVP'd, who's purchased tickets? How am I interpreting that data, to then drive different comms to the people that haven't registered or looked and chose not to, or purchased for themselves but not for their colleagues? So how are we looking at those different comms? But simplicity of all of that process is absolutely critical.
So there's an important thing you just touched on there. So during registration, is it important to be able to drive people into segments so you can communicate with them on a personalized level, different groups, different things like that?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I think it's the same. We've talked about personalization in the app previously. Personalization in all of our comms is critical. If 10 things are relevant to me and 20 things that are happening at the event are not, it's much better that you communicate to me about those 10 things. So being able to centralize the comms based on my interest, being able to say that Matt Allen at mallen@crowdcomms.co.uk sees this version of registration because it's most pertinent to me, takes away noise. That's really important. Talk about accessibility as well. If we want people to register, make that process as easy as possible. You look at our registration where I can look at a form and it can be an accessibility based form. You've got someone that might struggle reading or interpreting lots of information, able to display that information piecemeal, section by section, to improve my opportunity of getting through that form is really powerful. So not just the content, not just making sure that what I see is relevant, but how I see the information, making that as easy as possible to drive that registration, to get that bum on a seat, to get that person watching live from home, whichever it might be.
Super. So what are the ways you think there are to promote an event that are not necessarily through the event app itself? Should you be creating social media profiles? Should you be creating videos and website banners and ad campaigns and things like that?
Yeah, I think it depends on the event, doesn't it? So if you've got an external facing event where you're looking to promote to a remote community, then you need to get reach. And so you're going to be doing that video advertising, that social media advertising, following that continuity of brand from app, from registration, whatever it might be, to those external tools. That's going to be absolutely imperative. But if it's an internal event, or if it's an event that runs annually where you've got that audience, it's just about simplicity, isn't it? Make it easy for them to register, give them the information in a really accessible format, enable them to make the choices they want to make about the event, and streamline the comms that go out to them so that they're not having to think about it. It gets added to their calendar. They've quickly got access to the event app with all that's taking place to be able to facilitate the meetings, the networking, the sessions they want to watch. Keep it simple.
How about when you're on site? What are the things you can do to really maximize pushing people towards certain things or getting them to engage?
Let's look at simplicity of the registration process. I turn up, I see a machine, I scan my QR code, I get a badge. It's the first thing you do when you turn up on site. So let's not make it difficult. Let's make it as painless as possible for them. Let's almost make it an occasion. I talk about that quite often when we're talking about the registration machines. When you turn up and you're looking through 50 badges to find your name, and it's like, oh my God, and where am I putting my badge and bag, and where's my coat, and there's loads going on, that can be a really negative experience. If you turn up and you walk up and you see a machine, you can search your name, scan your QR code, walk through and get your badge. One less thing to worry about. Huge impact. So that's one thing. I think we can have digital displays with QR codes. I'm not one of those people that says I want 100% adoption on the app. There are people who will not want to do it. But for those that do want to do it and haven't done it before the event, let's have a big QR code, scan your QR code, take them to the App Store so they can download it, scan the QR code, take them to the web-based version if it's even easier on site, and give them access to it so they can find out about the event once they're there. Again, simple.
Yeah. And how about, that kind of brings us on to real-time updates and sort of making sure that if people are using the events app, you're able to promote what's happening minute by minute, second by second to people who are, okay, what's next? What's coming up? What can I do right now?
Well, those real-time changes are the reason we do an app. Rather than doing a printed agenda, rather than having a printed list of our sponsors, being able to say, look, go and see our sponsor now. Sponsor's just about to do a session in room 3, please go and attend. Sponsor's done a video, please click here and watch that video. So those real-time kind of updates and pushes enable us to promote different things that are taking place at the event on the go.
And you talked about accessibility. Let's talk a little bit about devices and kind of maximizing and promoting engagement, native apps, PWAs, making sure the app is totally responsive. That's presumably quite an important thing as well.
Again, it's just about making it as easy as possible for someone to access and to view it on a device that they feel comfortable. We still get people turning up wanting to use their laptop to view the engagement, to participate in Q&A and participate in polling. And I've seen people frustrated by that. And for me, it is absolutely fine. If you want to have a voice and to get the information, but you don't want to do it on a native app, use a web-based browser. So it's about options, giving people options to access the information.
Loads of really great insight again there from Matt. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, but we'll see you again soon.